First, we start by adding a global error handler. This handler is a function that listens for any uncaught error that bubbles up to the window object, essentially the highest level in the browser's JavaScript environment. When an error happens, this handler activates, logging the error to the console for developers to see, and then it uses event preventDefault to stop the browser from executing its default error handling. This can be useful to prevent additional error dialogues or error logging that the browser might do on its own. It's an essential fallback for catching errors that somehow slip through your other defenses. Now, this global handler is like a safety net for our web application. However, it's quite broad and doesn't give us a granular control over errors that happen in specific event handlers. That's why we might want to handle errors more locally as well. To address that, we're creating a higher-order function called SafeEventHandler. A higher-order function is simply a function that takes another function as a parameter or returns a function as a result. In this case, it does both. SafeEventHandler takes in an event handler function, let's call it our handler, and returns a new function that wraps the handler within a try-catch block. The returned function is the one that actually gets called when an event occurs. If our handler throws an error during execution, the catch block picks it up. Inside this block, we can log the error, and even send it to a remote logging service if we have one. This way, we're able to handle errors gracefully and keep them from breaking the user's experience. Here's how to use SafeEventHandler. We're attaching an event listener to a DOM element. Let's say it's an element with the ID myElement. We want to listen for click events. Instead of directly passing in our event handler function, we wrap it with SafeEventHandler. Now, when you click on myElement, your original event logic runs. If everything goes smoothly, great. But if an exception gets thrown, SafeEventHandler will catch it, log it, and ensure that the user's experience remains unaffected. What we've created here allows us to add an additional layer of error handling to our web applications. It's a pattern that can help us keep our applications robust and resilient, providing a better experience for both developers, in terms of visibility of errors, and users, in terms of consistent behavior even when something goes wrong. Remember to test thoroughly, as the best error handling is the one you never have to use because your code doesn't throw exceptions in the first place.